What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Earthrise Quintesson Allicon. So this is from the Transformers movie way back when. Of course, this is probably going to appear in the upcoming show, but I am really excited to get this guy. I've never had a figure like this. I don't know if one was made. Maybe there was one made way back in the day, but I haven't seen one in recent history. But so I was kind of excited to get it. And, you know, I review all these Earthrise figures, but I don't normally keep them. And let me just say, I'm probably keeping this one because I think it's really cool. I don't have this character in my collection. By the way, I normally don't show the box, but I need to show you the box. I did have an image early on, but I want to show you this. And so this is kind of frustrating or just irritating to me. Why did they change the colors so significantly? You know, this is totally different colors. Here it's mostly silver and gray. Here it's mostly purple and lavender. And, you know, I like the colors. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the way they made it. But why do they do this? Why do they put images on the box that are not even close? This has happened a few times now. So, anyway, that's just a little frustrating. But I do like these. I like the packaging they're using. Anyway, back to the figure. So, really nice looking, other than not having the same colors as the box. So, got some nice paint detail on that face. You got some painted red eyes, purple, blue, and gray on that face. You've got painted gray detail here, painted purple, painted green. I mean, he's got all sorts of cool paint detail, painted silver down here. The rest, I believe, well, we'll look at that in the Allicon mode, or I guess the alt mode, but he's got a good amount of paint for a figure of this size and of this cost. By the way, if you're wondering where I got this from Entertainment Earth. They're not one of my sponsors, so you know, I'm not necessarily advertising them, but that's, people always ask me, how'd you get this figure so quickly, and that's where I got it from. I didn't want to wait for Walmart or Target because I've had bad luck recently trying to find figures there. So Entertainment Earth, you can get the whole wave if you want it at the retail cost. Here's the back, pretty nice and clean. He's got this his tail, which it really comes out clean on the back. Speaking of which, this tail does fit. He's got a couple accessories. This fits right in here, but it's a weapon for him. So, oops, you can do a couple things. So you can put it here in his arm as a knife or as a weapon. And you can also take the spear and put that in here as well. Or you can use it as a staff, like he's holding it to the ground. You know, I like that they made this nice and long, so you can do that. So good accessories there. If you don't want to use them, you can actually store them away. So you can take this and you can get this in here and just tab that in. So you can get it tabbed in like that. It does leave a little slot there. You can also take this if you don't want this either, and you can tab that right here or here on the back. Although I would argue, why would you do that? But that's what you can do. You can also take, and just like almost all the Earthrise, there's different ways you can pose things. You know, I prefer have that in his hand, and it looks nice. Articulation wise, you do have the head on a ball joint, so it goes up to there, down to there, and it does rotate around. It's a little bit hindered on the sides here, so you have to lift it up to get it around, but it does rotate. This top part is a flexible, pliable plastic. Continuing on, you have the shoulders that rotate all the way around, and this part goes up. Right there. You have a rotation of the bicep. You have a single jointed elbow, but it gets you 90 degrees. And then the hand can rotate right there. Moving down, you have the hip skirt there. You have a waist rotation, which is really nice to see on a figure of this size. Normally you don't always get waist rotation. All of these Earthrise have been having that. It's nice. Kick all the way forward. kick all the way back, actually much further back. You have a knee bend, more than 90 degrees. It actually bends forward a little bit too. And then you have an ankle tilt all the way up to there. And ankle rocker that gets you all the way up to there and back to there. So plenty of articulation to get this guy in some really cool poses. You know, you could have him doing this kind of thing. Right, very nice, very well done. For a scale comparison, let's bring in another Earthrise figure. Here he is with the Earthrise smokescreen, which I will also be doing a review very soon. I haven't decided which one of these to put up first. I might do the Allicon, I might do smokescreen. We'll see. But looks really nice. I like that he's shorter compared to these other figures. This one's really cool too. We'll take a look at that in another review. Weight-wise, he is kind of light, although he feels a little bit heavier than Smokescreen, but pretty light in terms of figure. But he's also very small, just as a height comparison or height measure, about 4.5 inches, maybe 4 3/4 inches to the top of his fin there. So let's get into transformation. You can take this off. If you haven't already, you can store the tail back into his tail. And pretty easy transformation. So go ahead and pull this tail off. Sometimes it gets stuck and opens up the face. So just make sure it's disconnected. Turn this around. And you're going to get that. He's going to kind of fold down and his little fin is going to go into that hole. So make sure you get that in there. Otherwise it might not go all the way. It might actually bend. So make sure you get that in the slot there. Okay. Go ahead and rotate his waist around, and you can fold this hip skirt up, and that'll allow you to peg this in. There's 2 pegs, one on this side, one on this side. So just peg that in, and take his arms, and you're going to rotate them up and get them pegged in on the sides like that. Same on this side, rotate it up, get it pegged in like that. And then rotate these. Make sure you rotate by holding here. Don't hold here. It's a very thin plastic and it feels kind of, I don't know, it doesn't feel very robust, so I would just rotate here. Don't put any stress on this. It's a rubbery plastic, you know, it's not the hard plastic on the rest of this guy. And then to kind of get him into, you know, a better pose, you can sort of bend the knees so it looks more like a alligator or whatever, and then open his mouth a little bit, and there you go. There he is in his alt mode. He looks really cool. It's like a quick 360. So the little alligator arms, you got that really nice detail. This is really impressive. Look how much paint is on this. You got the purple paint, the blue paint, you got the painted teeth. The inside of the mouth is painted red in there. I mean, just really well done. And the eyes are painted as well. So that is just beautifully done. There's the back. I do find this does sometimes come up, but you can push it back down. You can take this, and again, you can just leave this pegged here if you want. He can also hold it. If you like him to hold it in the alt mode, you can put that in there, and he can hold it too. So, whatever you prefer. I think you can also take this weapon and put that in his hand. Yeah, so you can do that too if you want. I think it makes more sense to have this as the tail. Since he's in his alligator mode, he should have his tail. Let's give him his tail. Articulation in this mode, the arms do rotate. Again, I would recommend rotating it here if it's a little bit tighter, so you don't, you know, wear down this rubbery plastic. But it does rotate there. The top of the jaw moves up that much. The bottom of the jaw goes down to there. So if you have it all the way open, that's kind of how it looks. All the way closed, you can kind of get it in whatever pose you want. And then the legs have the exact same articulation as we had in the robot mode. So really, really nicely done. I love the way this came out. It just looks really good. Very easy transformation. Nice weapon storage like they've been doing for all of these figures. Alright, we'll get him back into his robot mode. Let's go ahead and take that off. Unpeg the arms. Rotate this back. Unpeg the arm. Rotate this back. Straighten out the legs. Unpeg the backpack. And the head's going to fold down. Fold out the hip skirt. Rotate the waist. Push the head down. Rotate the tail. And collapse that onto the back. And get the arms situated here. Push the hip skirt down. And there you have him back in his robot mode. So final thoughts was I really enjoy this guy. So much so that I'm planning to keep it. So I've been selling all of my Earthrise after I finish my review. I just don't have a collection that kind of fits these guys. But I feel like I could put this in my masterpiece shelf whenever I get Quintessons. And just have it with the Quintesson. Even though it's probably a little bit small, I don't really care. It looks really nice. The paint is nice. The deco is nice. The sculpt is really good. I didn't really even talk about these spikes. They look really good. It's just extra detail. There's a lot of sculpted detail all over this. Little scales and stuff like that. Little details and just little things that make it really interesting to look at. And so that's something that I really enjoy. So highly recommend this if you haven't picked this up. This is a $20 figure. It will be coming out in retail at Walmart, Target, but you can also buy it from Entertainment Earth. They shipped this to me as a wave, so I'm going to be reviewing the rest of the wave. But I just decided I'm tired of going to retail to try to find things. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions on this guy, leave in the comments below, and we will see you next time.